It's Friday. It's MARKPIRES Real Talk Real Estate 101. And we're back for another segment. And we're going to get into a lot of stuff today. Real estate questions. We're going to talk about improvements that can add value to your sale. And then we're also going to take some call-ins. This is a call-in real estate segment. So if you have any questions you want to get into, you want to ask me something live, if you want to talk about a scenario, the phone number is right there. Give it a ring. And let's get into some real estate 101. So let's start with what improvements add value to an experience. I'm going to quickly check and see if I'm even live. It looks like we're working. Let me just go over here to the tube. If you have not yet, please head over to YouTube, subscribe, and ding the bell. You will be able to experience this show every day as well as the Real Talk show, which happens every day for the last 670 days. Anyway, so we're here. Any questions you have, we're going to get into. Michelle, how are you? Look, this isn't a competition on the Real Talk Real Estate 101 program, but if it was, Michelle would be the champion. So, Michelle, I'm here every day now to talk about what I do during the day, which is sell real estate. I'm here to try to connect with new clients, with new buyers, new sellers, so they understand that what I bring to the table is not just the entertainment feature that you see on a daily basis, trying to divide us from a negativity in this world, bring positivity back. I also bring positivity back to the real estate business. It's a very negative business as it is. When we had bad times, it's roughly 13 years of bad times, it's crazy, but 13 years of bad times in the real estate market in Connecticut. And I never saw a good market, so I've just been hustling the whole time, just been creating my own market as we go. But I would say since we hit this pandemic and everything shifted, people went inside, started searching online to find their homes. They always did that, but now when you can't leave your home to view a home, what do? Well, I tried to get creative early on in the plandemic, whatever. I started something called Stay Safe Concierge Real Estate. And it was a new service I created. It's on my website. It's a link and everything. You could check it out. And the service was this. You stay home, stay safe in your home, and I will go in my crazy hazmat gear, and I'll film a walkthrough of the property that you're thinking of looking at or wanting to visit. And it's not just a walkthrough, it's a Zoom call. So I'm there with you. You're asking the questions. Hey, Mark, can you look this way? Can you look that way? How old's the furnace? You're getting kind of like an inspection of the property while you sit comfortably in your own home. Well, I started this service called Stay Safe Concierge Real Estate. Didn't really get anybody to order it because people eventually said, look, I'm just going to go. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go. I'm going to put my mask on, gloves on, and I'm going to go, which is fine. But I've noticed the market has exploded. And as far as people wanting to get out of the cities, they want to get out of the cities. They want to get away from confined spaces. They don't want to take an elevator up and down with the same people that could have this virus. So the fear is at an all-time high in the cities, which means I got to get out. So if that's the case, I should be getting a ton of phone calls from potential buyers. I haven't been getting those phone calls, which is why I started thinking again, I got to get back out here, remind people what I do. Maybe they're saying, well, maybe Mark's not a realtor. Maybe he's an entertainer now. No, I try to bring this world back away from the darkness that it's living in. And that's my personal mission. It has nothing to do with what I get paid for. I get paid to help people find the perfect home, to get the deal that they need in order to say yes. So this show will be live every day, midday. We'll be doing an hour probably, just discussing the real estate market. Any questions that come up, we're going to get into. Let's see if Michelle has one for me. She bought a farm 4 years ago. Then job demanded I go from part-time to full-time and currently 12-hour days. Kind of stinky. Can't be at the farm I've worked for. Sorry, I guess I needed to vent. That's good by me, Michelle. Life is about venting. Real talk's about venting. For 670 days, I've been venting to this planet. Just venting positivity, though. I vent positivity. That's what I have to share and release. But we're here now on a daily in order to discuss maybe some things you don't know about the real estate business, but more importantly, just so you could remember next time next time Michelle needs to buy a farm, she'll say, you know what? I know Mark's a realtor. Let me reach out to him. I know he's not in my state, but he can help me. This is the point. I can help anybody, anywhere in the world. I had someone in the UK ask me the other day, can you help me here? I said, I think I can. Just send me your information and I'll make some phone calls. What it is, this is a free service for you to take advantage of, your friends, your family members to take advantage of, where I will interview agents for you to find the perfect agent, maybe even two for you to interview and see who you like best. If you don't like them, you use somebody else, that's fine, but it's just another option. So all I ask is next time you're at a dinner party or at a cocktail party, and someone says the word real estate. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get rid of my home. Oh really? Do you have an agent? Oh, you do. Okay. Well, would you mind if I pass your info? Or if you don't, do you mind if I pass your info along to this guy who has a talk show and he can find you someone amazing right here in your backyard? And how does he do that? Well, he doesn't just like put a form in and that's the end of it. He actually gets on the phone with the manager in your local Berkshire Hathaway firm and he finds out their top 3-4 agents and he interviews them all for you, and he weeds out the wastes of time for you, and he finds, basically, he's looking for himself in each location. I'm looking for someone who's going to live at a standard of real talk. Tell your client what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Provide value by being honest and transparent, and get people to the finish line by being able to negotiate. This is the big problem with realtors. A lot of them don't know how to negotiate, So you're stuck. You're in the middle of trying to negotiate a deal with someone who's just kind of not pulling their weight. So I actually welcome working with agents who know what they're doing because we get to deals quickly. We know how to get from A to Z without all the minutia in between. And I think that's important. If you're going to be in this business, you should learn the business. And this is why I say to you guys, keep in mind, I'm here every single day for real talk. But I've been here for 13 years every single day providing value for my real estate clients. And that's how Real Talk became the name. This show started as Real Estate Real Talk. I was like basically talking about real estate on a daily basis. And I was like, this is Mark Pires and this is Real Talk. It's real estate, real talk. Like everything is like about real and realistically. What we were doing there was getting to the moment, even about real estate. I'm doing it right now. I didn't come out here with a script today. Come out here to be with you guys like I do and let the moment happen. But there is a lot of information I've collected over 13 years selling and buying homes with clients, dealing with the process, dealing with the paperwork. And I've had a lot of things go sideways. I've had a lot of deals come together that should have gone sideways. And I just want to make sure if you have any questions, let's get into them. And if you don't have any questions and you just want to hang out with me for a little bit, that's cool too. But let's discuss what improvements will add more value to your home when you try to sell. I find I have a lot of clients who will throw their money towards things that don't really add value, don't add more dollars and cents to their wallet when they sell that home. In fact, they're losing money. Great example is people, they'll spend an extraordinary amount of money on landscaping. Oh, but I got this flower and I got these bushes from. No one's paying you for that. They're paying for it to be clean. What they'll pay you for is a brand new kitchen. George Rochelle, Beckstro, Sig is in the house, Acts is here, Michelle. I'm not sure how many people are with us right now because my YouTube's acting weird for some reason. It doesn't look the way it normally does. All right, there we go. Smash that like if you guys don't mind. YouTube does not get behind any programs of positivity. Let's just be honest. No social media platforms do. So even my real estate segments will get no push from YouTube. So it's going to be all you guys, just like the Real Talk show. So smash the like. The more people that show up and actually like or dislike helps the algorithm. But as far as improvements are concerned, kitchen, number 1. Bathrooms, number 2. And then I would say, if you can paint your home so it looks fresh and clean when someone gets there, you're going to add more value. It's funny. Everybody hates Trump. You know what Trump said back in the day? This is like 1980s. He said, it amazes me. People will go sell their cars. And instead of washing their car before bringing it to sell it, they can make $1,500 more just by washing their car before going to sell it. was like, what? Yeah, presentation is everything. You show up with a beat up Suburban, or you show up with a Suburban that just came off of, Rick's wash, whatever. You know what I mean? It's fresh. It's clean. Or the beat up old dingy Suburban, 86 Suburban. You know what I mean? So presentation is everything in life. And when it comes down to selling a home, you are looking to capture the features of a room, to capture the features of a home. Oh, it's a 3,000 square foot home. It's a colonial with 4 bedrooms. You know how many homes there are like that? What features in that home make it unique? You need to find something unique in order to share why it's special to anybody. It's hard. Sometimes you find a home that needs a lot of work and you're like, well, how do I find the special? Well, here's a home that needs a lot of work. The special is that you could turn it into your own. You could spend the time, the sweat equity, and turn it into your dream home. There's the value. You get it at a good price. You put the money in, and then you're worth here. My parents are in the trade, builders. My mother's an interior designer. My father's a builder. Before I got into real estate, I worked for 13 years for my father building homes. And while I was working for my father, I was traveling the country playing music. So I'd have my guitar with me. I'd be hitting the road. I'd be writing songs. I'd be traveling. And when I was not doing that, I was working for my dad. My dad was a great builder of new homes. But what my dad loves to do is take old homes and bring them to life. I can't tell you the amount of homes we've gone into where agents have said, it's not on the market for home, it's on for land because it's a knockdown. I say, let us be the judge of what's a knockdown. This old house? Yeah, that should have been my dad. The Property Brothers? Yeah, that should have been us. My father and my mother, builder, interior designer. My brother's a builder. I was a builder. So we were a family construction company. And then I'm the realtor. And it's like this whole thing could have been Property Brothers. Trust me. It would have been hilarious too, because my brother's out of his mind. It would have been so funny. Like we would have worked really funny together on camera. I say that with love. He's the one who also told me I can never go every day. No one would want to see me every day. I love him, but I don't believe him when he says stuff like that. When people tell me I can't do something and I know within my heart I have the ability to do something, it kind of bothers me. And then I want to prove to them how capable I am of completing the mission they thought I had no chance of even trying to accomplish. I actually laugh when people look at me or look at you and they say, he doesn't have what it takes. I love that. I love that. I wrote a quote during this entire 690 that said, when someone says you can't, smile and thank them for the fuel. And someone tells me, are you kidding? I can't wait to go out there. That's such powerful energy and fuel that you've been given by a negative force. You turned it into a positive. Remember, no matter what you get in life, it's energy. You just need to somehow adapt it into positive energy. A negative energy is energy. It's a very low and degrading form of energy. But you could transform it into the slightest bit of a spark of positivity somehow, just by saying that to yourself. Thank you. I'm going to put that in my fuel tank. So add value by doing things. A buyer's going to walk into a home and see a massive, they're going to see a spark in their own mind and their heart. Something's going to jump. When someone walks in the house, they want to see the kitchen. They want to make sure they don't have a bathroom from 1968 that's pink and brown. You've seen those. Bathrooms and kitchens. If you can keep those, that's where you really get the most value. Then, of course, you're looking at windows. If you have the original windows in a house, someone's coming in there and they're knocking off $30K. It could be a $12,000 job. They're knocking off 30. So new windows are very, very crucial to getting top dollar for a home. Paint, new windows, kitchen, bathrooms, bam, done. You could do your siding and then you're like almost a new home. Roof, you're done. Don't do anything else. Landscaping, make it look clean. Okay? Just make it look clean. Don't go spend money on a deck and go redo the deck. I don't think that adds value. Finishing the basement, you only get about $25K bump out of that. So if you spend $100,000 in your basement, you only made 25 out of it when you sell it. So keep that in mind. You can go and make an amazing basement, but the way the valuation works in real estate, it's basically like $25K they add. That's like assessor too. I don't even know why it's like that. Actually, someone tell me have you heard different? I think it's like 25K. And I've seen some great basements. Like, yeah, 25K bump. I'm like, what? But that's the way it works. Let me see if there's anything good coming on in the chat window over here. Let me grab my mouth over here. George is with us. Reiki's here. Hey, Reiki. I'm so glad you're with us. Where's the best place to add value to an old center-tired house? The best place to add value to an old, did you saying like an old colonial or like an old center-tired house? What's a center-tired house? Do you mean like a farmhouse? Michelle says she's still working on getting rid of the 1968 tiled yellow kitchen. Yeah, that's going to be a chore when you get to those tiles. You know, sometimes when you get to tiles from the 60s, if you just start one and you grab that little chisel, sometimes it moves really smoothly. So it depends. But other times you're ripping apart the plaster or sheetrock in the process, and that's a nightmare. Any questions you guys have? Anybody want to call in with a question about real estate? I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be about real estate. I only have about 15 minutes. I have a showing. At about 2:15, I got to get going. So I did want to step in here for a few minutes, though, today, talk to you about this topic, which is, again, what improvements can you make in order to get value? I strongly suggest whenever you are going to list a home, call a few agents. Don't just call the one person that you know. And I say that lovingly because I wish people would just call me because they know me. I don't get those calls. I'd like to get in there and fight it out with 3 other people. So when you need to list your home, just consider giving me a ring and let me go in there and share my value. Let me tell you what I can do in order to differentiate myself from the other agents that you're meeting with. I truly believe if we work together, I'm going to help you sell your home. Not only that, I'm going to get you top dollar. And I'm going to put you on the Real Talk program. I think that's going to be part of this. I'm going to be broadcasting these Real Talk 101s from my listings going forward. I just need more listings. So let's see. It starts with this. I got to be out here every day so you guys remember that this is what I do during the day. Send your leads to me. If you're part of the Real Talk family and you live anywhere in this country, anywhere in the world, and you hear the word real estate, just say, do you mind if I get you one more person to interview? You don't have to say yes. It'll cost you nothing. And if you use that person, you actually help out the Real Talk program, which is pretty cool. That agent will be paying a referral fee. I pay referral fees every time I get a piece of business, and I love it. I'm so happy to get a new piece of business. So, because I know the first thought is people are like, well, some agent's not going to want to pay Mark something for getting them the business. Yeah, they do, and they love it. We all love it. We're in a business where we don't get a plethora of leads. We don't have so much coming at us that we can't take it. We got to hand it off. We want business. So when someone calls me and says, hey, I got a piece of business for you. Are you good with a referral? I'm like, absolutely. Send the paperwork. I can't wait to help your friend, your family member, your client get that home, and I'll send you a check, or my office would be sending you a check. This is the way the business runs, and I'm going to start taking advantage of it now because I'm here with you guys, and I've been stepping away basically from that mindset of referral, and I should be leaning into it. It reminds me of the other thing I wrote. Is like when find the kindness within you and lean in. It's the same thing with everything in life. Find the purpose and lean in. If I want to spend more time with you guys, then I have to lean into the idea of you guys having leads. So that allows me to free up time. Those people are out there. They're the sales force. If they sell something, it's good for me. And it's also good for you because I'm going to find someone who's going to fight for you. I told a story yesterday about a guy who was giving away his commission before he even sat down. I could do it for her. What? I remember the seller is hilarious. He goes, I was going to ask him about commission anyway. He goes, but he volunteered that he could do it for less before he even started. I said, that should concern you. When someone is willing to say they don't believe in their own value, how are they going to feel about the value of your house when that lower offer comes in? Yeah, you're right. It's not very nice. I'll push on my seller and get them to accept. No. Excuse me? You fight for your client's value. You fight for your own value. And if you're worth your weight, they're not going to question it. But everybody does. Everybody questions commission. They don't understand the big picture. The big picture is you want someone who's going to get it done for you and get you the most money. What benefit is it that you got it for a less, but the guy stuck you by getting you to take an offer $50,000 less than you could have gotten from a tougher agent, somebody who was tougher on their commission? I never understood that one. Ooh, I got them to do the commission for 1% off of their typical. Oh, great. Okay, so let's just do the math on that. It's $1 million house, so you saved 10 grand. Good for you. How much did you sell that house for again? 900. So you took 100 grand less to get 10? I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have taken 9 for you. I'm pretty sure I would have gotten you to 960, 970. And then you would have had 60 grand in your pocket instead of that 10 you think you got. It's amazing. People are penny wise, pound foolish. When you stand in front of someone and they're fighting for you, they're fighting for their own value, for their own commission, you better stand back and realize this is someone you want to talk to, not push away. You push away the guy who's like, oh yeah, I could do it for. Oh yeah, no, I could cut my commission. Oh yeah, no problem. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's fine. That's the guy you kick right the heck out the door. I don't want to hear from someone who's telling me they'll do it for less. This is how I see my value. I'll take less. Excuse me? And that's why I got that listing and sold that listing. I beat out the lady and I beat out the guy they sold the house to. The guy sold the house to them. Because I walked in there and when they asked me about commission, I said, I don't cut my commission. Because I'm worth it. Because I'm going to fight for you. Because when that low offer comes in, I'm going to be just as tough with those people as I am with you right now about my commission. You can either respect that that's how I feel and that's how I act and that's how I am and that's how I live, or you could show me the door. But I'm not going to cut my commission because that tells you from the beginning that I don't have what it takes to do the job. Now, other people, again, other sellers are like, I won. I got the lower commission. You lose. You lose, sir. You get nothing. Nothing. That's, what was that from? Willy Wonka. You lose, sir. You get nothing. Nothing. That's such a great movie. Keep in mind, sometimes you think you're winning and you are losing. It's like the fake news media for the last 4 years. You think you're winning. You think you know. And every person I speak to who's out there pushing this hatred towards literally a sitting president is pushing a narrative. And you lose. Because in 30 years, when you look back and you realize you've been duped for 4 years, when you actually do the search that says, what accomplishments, what? You won't know. We're too close to it right now. When you see things change back, you'd be like, wait, why did we go? Why are we going back? Oh, that's right. Because the scumbag politicians got power again. You're going to give it back to the swamp. This is so clear. This is straight up out of a movie. The swamp is so thick and putrid that there's a guy who has to step up and try to drain it, right? He steps up. He begins to start draining the swamp. In fact, he does. I'm telling you a storyline, okay? This is a movie. He steps up. He starts draining the swamp. In fact, if you watch that this guy said on the campaign trail, he basically did every single thing he said he would do, save infrastructure and like one other thing. But everything else he's done. Okay, so now, hatred of the world, swamp, guy comes in to try to save the day, wins when they said there's no way he's going to win. Swamp starts fighting the swamp. What does the swamp do? Well, what does anybody do when they feel threatened? They create a smear campaign. They start calling the guy Hitler. They start saying everything he does is hatred and anger and white supremacy. But if you happen to take 10 minutes to watch episode 25 of the Donald Trump Show, Gaslighting an American Election, what you'd see is this was completely steered by the left. And when people say Trump is the one who's been promoting hate and violence and white supremacy, watch episode 25. It's the left. The Maxine Waters of the world. If you see someone in a restaurant, you get in their face, you tell them they're not welcome. They're not welcome now or ever. Excuse me? That's division like I've ever heard in my life. Oh, that's right. She's a Republican. Madonna standing outside the White House saying she wants to blow up the White House. That's not division at all. You're right. You're right. The hypocrisy is just, it kills me. And this is why I started going the route of talking about everything. Because if you don't hear it here, you're never going to hear it at all. When you have Zucker Chooch and you have Jack Sparrow Dorsey, I mean, what's going on with that pirate? Are you kidding me? Censoring programs like this that are speaking truth and delivering uncensored, but also there's no profanity here. This is a clean program and you're going to censor it? It's a comedy program. We laugh here. We get into moments. We play music. You're going to censor that? That should scare you guys more than anything. That they have been suppressing this program for 670 days. Suppressed. That's crazy. Why would you suppress comedy? Why would you suppress positivity? Well, if your agenda, if your narrative is hate and division and race war, then you don't like the MARKPIRES Real Talk program. Let's be honest. If you're trying to get people to hate each other and say everything is different, every color in the world is a sect, and every single religion is this, and everything. And then a guy comes along who says, no, we're all one. We need to connect on love, light, and kindness. And everything else falls to the wayside. And every religion got it wrong because man got involved. If you go back to the essence of all religion, it's love, it's kindness, it's being there for each other. All the other vitriol, the hate, that stuff was incorporated by man in order to keep you and me in line. If you don't know that, I don't know what to tell you. I work with my intuition, which connects to a spirit that maybe you can't connect to, but I'm with it. All right. And it's very simple to me. Love, light, kindness, everything else falls to the wayside. And I'll be censored forever for it. But there's something called grassroots. There's something called a voice, a silent voice. It's been silent. I mean, it baffles me when I have almost 3,000 friends on Facebook and like 7 people see this, 24 people see a 6-hour broadcast. This is the world we're living in right now, where they will suppress this program, even a real estate segment. I don't know, 10 people on YouTube doesn't push this out. I'm sure none of you got a notification today. It just happened to pop on and say, oh, you know? So I think what's important, how many percent takes the real estaters in your part of the world? Let me see. So we're just really dealing with a crazy world. And like I said, if we can take the time to step away and realize what's going on, we can stop it before it gets really bad. Let's see. I got a couple questions here. Barb said, I've been running my mom's rental properties for many years. She passed away last year and we are putting them up for sale. However, one of the renters will not allow a real estate lady to come in. She was threatened. I was threatened and the lawyer's been hired, but coming from a real estate view, is there anything else that I may need to know? Well, because of the situation we're going in right now, there's a lot of this going on where people do not want anybody in the house with them because of COVID. So what I think is there should be something in the lease that says they have to allow the place to be seen, first of all. Secondly, if you give enough notice, if like 24-hour notice should be plenty of time for someone to get out of the house. If they're just being difficult and they don't want to get out because they don't want to get out, and they're trying to not let you sell the place, they want to kind of stay there as long as possible, you did the right thing. Get the attorney involved right away. Get the attorney involved right away, because this could be like a process. To evict someone from a place could take months. So you could be dealing with that. Barb, I got a message, or I saw a property hit the market 2 weeks ago. This property hit the market like such a good number in a town called Westport. Westport's a great town. Very, very high end. This house came on for $584. It was kind of like, it was like Westport / Norwalk. So it was kind of the line. It wasn't like in Westport, but still $584. Now I'm looking for investment properties for a client. So I'm like, let me check into this. I start looking at the information. It says home cannot be seen, no showings, visual walk around only. And then it said this. I want to pull this up so I can read it exact. It said something like, buyer is responsible for Buyer is responsible for clearing property and something like taking title. Basically, like there's someone living there that won't let them in. And when you buy the house, you need to get them out. That was what it said. It's like, yeah, and by the way, you're buying a house and you got to get rid of the guy. I'm like, what? So I sent it to I had already sent it. And then when I talked to him, I'm like, look, I don't think this one's going to work for you guys. They're like, why not? It looks great. I said, well, you'd have to get rid of the guy. And they're like, well, they made a joke like in Europe, you could just take a roof off. You could do whatever. And then if it rains on the people, then they get out, but here you gotta go through a legal process. And so realistically, you could buy something and wait 6 months. I think it could be up to 6 months for an eviction. So I definitely am not here to give legal advice, but I would say, Barb, you did the right thing by calling an attorney. Let an attorney who can give legal advice share with you exactly what can be done. I'm glad you asked me though about that. And Barb, if for some reason those agents don't sell it for you, let me know. Let me see if I can get you a Berkshire Hathaway agent to come out there and get the job done. And see, that's my point. So Barb's selling something. If Barb found me before, maybe she would have said, you know what? I know Mark. Let me have him get one more agent in for me to interview. And if you didn't like the agent, you didn't like the agent, but it's at least one more look. I always say, I want to get in there and be interviewed. I want to have a chance for you to say no to me. I don't want to have you hire someone and you didn't even know I was there. Let me get in the door with you. Let me say a few things. If you don't like what I have to say, at least you gave me the opportunity to say what I needed to say. I truly believe, though, if you give me that opportunity, you will see we are meant to work together. So this is what I'll be here doing every day, guys, is just chatting with you about some real estate. Right now it's 1:58. I got a couple more minutes. Any other questions that are coming in? Pascaline, how are you, my friend? So good to see you. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. Yeah, and same thing, Barb. If anything else comes up, feel free to give me a ring or shoot me a note here. You can obviously call in if you ever want to chat about things too, guys. They're 6 months behind on rent, and it's not because of COVID-19. Using that as an excuse, they get a regular income every month. Wow. Okay, so they're using the forbearance thing. They're 6 months behind on rent, and it's not because of COVID-19. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Barb said, I've had brake lines cut by a renter a few years ago so they can be crazy. Holy cow. I'll tell you, that is something that I want to get into, guys. I want to figure out how to own some additional property and become a landlord. Like, I got to figure that out. It's too much going on. I have 3 kids, a wife, trying to real talk at night. Like, I definitely have not opened my mind up to that possibility, but it would be nice to have multiple properties running, you know what I mean? Bringing in income on the side. The idea is if you could find multiple forms of income in life, that's when you can actually do something. That's when you can do something. So the people who have one form of income, it's just very hard to get above and beyond. And I always say, no matter how great I could do in real estate, I've always got to get something else going. Beat Seat for me is my invention, the Beat Seat, which you guys hear me play music on every night. Real Talk I don't make any money for Real Talk. I'm just here every day just trying to bring some light into this world. It would be nice to figure out how to turn it into a show or something where there's a sponsor who pays me. I don't know how to do that. But I'm just going to show up every day, and maybe if it's meant to be, it will happen. And if it's not, I'll just be here every day for you guys, just pushing through this life, trying to make a difference, and helping people buy and sell real estate. Maybe that's what I'm meant to do the rest of my life. I don't know. I tend to think that's not the case, but I think I'll still always sell real estate. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think it will be my total mindset all day long needs to be on getting that piece of business done. It is right now. It freaks me out because that's what I have to think and live. But once other things are moving, it allows you to free up headspace to create more content for you guys. So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to finish this up. I have about 15, 20 minutes before I got to get going. I think I'm going to drop a music clip. Wolfie was on earlier, and he said he really enjoyed the first song I played for you guys last night, which is called Whisper. It's a song I wrote in 1999, and it's a pretty powerful tune. We tore it up last night. I didn't even listen back to it, but I did record it onto my phone so I can drop it for you guys. So I may try to do that before my appointment. And if not, I'll get it to you later. We're going to have an action-packed Real Talk tonight, guys. Send your requests, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do a Real Talk Real Estate 101 on the weekends. I'm just not sure. I'm pretty sure I'm live more than anybody on the planet. But maybe not. I don't know. Now going live an extra time a day is just kind of crazy, but oh man, let's see. Barb said, that's why it's up for sale. LOL. Everything is up for sale except the one house that they're in because of their ways. Oh, wow. Yeah, Barb, that's great. Well, I'm glad you found someone who can get the job done for you. And oh, thank you, Pascaline. I really appreciate it. And guys, before you get going, hit the like on the way out or the dislike. Somebody obviously wasn't enjoying the Real Estate 101. They probably wanted something different today. Sorry about that. Look, you have to understand, I'm multifaceted. I'm just not coming out here to do the variety show. Sometimes it's going to be about real estate. And I got to remind everybody what I do, because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to continue to thrive in real estate. If I'm focused, the world thinks I'm focused somewhere else. It just so happens that the only way I could explain this, I created the Joe Biden clip that I dropped earlier in 8 minutes last night. I don't spend an extraordinary amount of time on these clips. I'm able to do them very quickly. The voices are there. It's not like I have to work on the voices. I don't have to work on doing Joe Biden in order to figure out what to say. I just improvise and that becomes the clip. The Donald Trump stuff, I improvise. It happens so quickly. And I'm able to put these things together very quickly. They look like they take hours and a full day. No, I do it right before every show because the whole day I'm focused on real estate. The other day I said to Wolfie, I was like, if there's the day I'm able to shut that part of me off, where all I have to do is focus real estate all day long, the day I get to shut that off and be real talk all day, I'm going to be live for 24. I'm not even joking. I'm going live for doing the first Ed TV show, 24 hours straight. Just as an appreciation for everybody who's gotten me to that point. When you're here for 670 days in a row just to try to make a difference, and then eventually what becomes is what you're meant to become, you show the world how much you appreciate them. And that's where we go eventually on this. But it could be 10 years from now. I don't know. I'll be here every day till 10 years. That's 3,650 days to add on to the other that we have so far. It'd be pretty crazy. But don't throw anything past me, because I'll probably be here. Crazy. Why? Because the world's dying. That's really the reason. The world is dying around us. And look, it doesn't have to be. One final point about real estate I want to share with you guys. They're saying the market's really, really hot right now, but it's such a false expectation of what's to come, because these homes that are selling or not selling, whatever's going on, there's going to be an extraordinary amount of foreclosures once we get into 2021. Right now, they've pushed this forbearance right till the end of the year. So everybody can go till the end of 2020 before they drop the hammer on everybody and say, we're evicting you and we're foreclosing on your property. You haven't paid in 6 months, 3 months, 9 months, 10 months, whatever it is. And that's real. It's going to happen to many, many people. And it's scary. It's very scary. So all I could say is, like you've been hearing everywhere else, be prepared for whatever the shoe, when it drops, it's going to drop. So be prepared. I think Barb is probably, I wish I had a bunch of properties to sell right now too. Probably do that too. Barb, there's always going to be people who don't like positivity. I realize that. Like the other day it happened too. Sig offline, he's like, hey, it's weird. We had such a great night. He's like, did you see who came in? And all of a sudden you had a dislike? And I was like, I don't know. I didn't see that. He goes, yeah, I saw who it was. I was like, oh, really? He's like, and he had this whole theory behind things. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. If someone's disliking what we're doing here, it's a weird jealousy, because what we're doing here is pure. What we're doing here is positive. What we're doing here is connecting. I'm sharing the truth about whatever's going on in my moment with you. And if anybody has a negative on that, it's because they're the negative. So it doesn't bother me. None of that stuff bothers me. It does really, it felt pretty amazing yesterday to see 120 likes and 0 dislikes yesterday during our live program. That was really cool, I got to say. And, I don't see how anybody could have a problem with what we're doing. That's why it baffles me how Google and Facebook and everybody just suppresses and they shut off the reach of this program. But it is extremely positive and influential because it's positive. So if you have an agenda of hate and division, then I'm a threat to that. And I really jokingly, I say this a lot, but I'm like, I wonder if there's ever like a conversation you're like, look, he's going to quit at some point. Nobody's watching him. He's got 295 subs. Just give it a couple more weeks. He's going to quit. Don't worry about it. And they probably have these conference calls like, is that Real Talk show still going? Yeah, this guy, he's got 2 people on. He did 4 hours last night. Why is he doing that? Don't worry about it. He's probably going to quit next week. And if it wasn't for Sig, if it wasn't for Wages and for Scott and for Trinity and for Vlad and for everybody spreading the word and telling you guys to come check out this program, you never would have found me. So I'm thankful. I'm also thankful for a lot of other things. If Donald Trump wasn't the president, you never would have seen me either. I never would have started the show. The negativity of the world wouldn't have risen to the heights that it had, and I would never have felt the reason to step up and to be the difference. But I couldn't handle it anymore. I just can't handle it. I can't handle the negativity of this world, and I refuse to let it happen, especially when it's literally a con job. It's a con job. Our country would be great if the media was not involved. If people just were allowed to live their lives, a president was allowed to do his job, and you broadcast the truth, good and bad, not just bad. Not just the bad thing that the president did that day. The bad and the good stuff he did that day. What a revelation. What a revelation. We're going to say the good and the bad, not just the bad. It's been 4 years of just the bad from every network. And if you typed in that simple phrase, Donald Trump's accomplishments as president of the United States, and you read it with a clear focus of saying this is Reagan's accomplishments, these are Bush's accomplishments, Clinton's accomplishments, these are Barack Obama's accomplishments. Say that to yourself right before you start reading. And then you'll probably kick yourself if you did vote for Biden, because you'll realize that everything this guy did was very liberal, extremely liberal. And then I'm like, yeah, that's right. He wasn't really a Republican. He was a Democrat prior. He just had to run as a Republican because Hillary was the Democrat. And I'm like, yeah, but if you look at his accomplishments, inner city zones, all this stuff, it's extremely liberal. All right, guys, it doesn't look like I'm going to have a chance to drop that clip for you, but maybe I will. I don't know. But I will be back later. Don't forget that. And I really appreciate you guys being here with me for a Real Estate 101. Real Talk, Real Estate 101. And I'll try to do this every day I can, as long as it helps remind you that what I do during the day is help people with the American dream. Buy, sell real estate. I'd love to help you, free of charge. Just send me a lead, and I will find that agent for you. It's all free of charge. And I will see you guys later on the next Real Talk. This has been another Real Estate 101 with Mark Pires. I'll see you later, guys. Have an awesome day.